Hey guys, I'm not much of a writer, but something happened to me recently that I just gotta get off my chest. It's been bugging me non-stop, and I can't shake this feeling of dread. You see, I work in this old office building. It's the kind of place that gives you the heebie-jeebies as soon as you step inside. Creaky floors, flickering lights, the whole shebang. But that's not the scary part. Nah. The real terror began when they installed this new security system called the True Camera Tracker. At first, I didn't think much of it. Just another fancy gadget to keep an eye on things, or so I thought. But then, weird stuff started happening. Like, I'd be working late at night, and out of the corner of my eye, I'd see this shadow moving on the monitor. Every time I turned to look, there was nothing there. Just an empty hallway staring back at me. I chalked it up to tired eyes and too much caffeine. But then things got worse. One night, I was the last one in the office, wrapping up some paperwork. I glanced up at the security monitor, and that's when I saw it. A figure hunched over and creeping down the hallway. My heart started racing, and I froze in my seat, unable to tear my eyes away. The figure was blurry, like it wasn't quite there, but I could feel its presence, you know? I wanted to run, to scream for help, but fear had me in its grip. I watched as the figure drew closer and closer, its movements unnatural and jerky. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished into thin air. I sat there for what felt like hours, trembling and praying that it was all just a trick of the light. But deep down, I knew better. There was something sinister lurking within the walls of that building, and the True Camera Tracker had unwittingly captured its presence. I tried to tell my co-workers about what I saw, but they just laughed it off, saying I was working too hard and needed a vacation. But I knew the truth, and it was eating me alive. Night after night, I found myself drawn to the security monitors, unable to resist the urge to see if the figure would return. And return it did, each time more menacing than the last. Sometimes it would stand there, watching me with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce straight through my soul. Other times it would dart across the screen in a blur, leaving me gasping for breath. I started avoiding the office whenever I could, coming in late and leaving early just to escape the suffocating sense of dread that hung in the air. But no matter where I went, the figure followed. It haunted my dreams, its presence looming over me like a dark cloud. I became obsessed, scouring the internet for any information I could find about the True Camera Tracker and its supposed capabilities. But the more I dug, the less I liked what I uncovered. Rumors of strange occurrences and unexplained phenomena plagued forums and message boards, with others sharing similar experiences to my own. It was then that I realized the truth. The True Camera Tracker wasn't just a security system. It was a portal, a gateway to the other side. And whatever had crossed over was hungry for more than just a fleeting glimpse of the living world. I knew I had to do something, but I was paralyzed by fear. How could I possibly stand up to something so malevolent, so beyond my comprehension? But as the days passed and the figure grew bolder, I knew I had no choice but to confront it head-on. Armed with nothing but my wits and a flashlight, I ventured into the office late one night, determined to put an end to the terror once and for all. The building was silent, the only sound the echoing of my footsteps as I crept down the dimly lit hallway. I reached the security room and hesitated for a moment, my hand trembling as I reached for the door handle. With a deep breath, I pushed it open and stepped inside, the monitors flickering to life in front of me. And there it was, just as I knew it would be. The figure lurking in the shadows, its eyes burning with an otherworldly hunger. But this time, I didn't flinch. I didn't cower in fear. I stood my ground, my voice steady as I spoke into the darkness. "I know you're there," I said, my words ringing out with a newfound confidence. "And I'm not afraid of you." The figure seemed to pause, as if considering its next move. And then, with a low growl that sent shivers down my spine, it lunged forward, its form twisting and contorting as it reached out towards me. But I was ready. With a swift motion, I reached for the control panel and deactivated the True Camera Tracker, severing its connection to the other side. The figure let out a blood-curdling scream, its form dissolving into nothingness before my eyes. I collapsed to the ground, the weight of what I'd just done crashing down on me like a ton of bricks. But as I sat there in the darkness, catching my breath, I knew that I'd won. The true camera tracker may have brought terror into my life, but it was no match for the power of human courage and determination. And as I made my way out of the office, leaving the horrors of that night behind me, I knew that I'd never look at a security camera the same way again, because sometimes the things we fear the most are the ones we can't see coming.